Now moving up, wanted to, again, give Finn more armor, make it seem like he's collected some different pieces as he's grown up. So I have my shoulder plate here, and underneath, this is a piece that kind of connects with two other pieces in the whole cosplay, is some polar bear fur. Made this out of EVA foam. Let's see. Used the silver Sharpie to kind of make all the dings and nicks. And I wanted this again to be slightly cartoony. That's why there's so many different marks and lines with the black Sharpie as well and the white Sharpie. And again, polar bear fur, and to make it stick to my shoulder, I just hot glued some really heavy duty magnets. And so sits there, can totally wave it around, move, and yeah. Now this is a really simple piece, but in some of that artwork that I talked about, different versions of Finn had wraps on his hands. So my right hand's gonna have the robotic arm, my left hand just has a simple wrap. I actually love these because I have multiple cosplays and characters that I've done where I've incorporated these just because I feel like it gives a little something extra without doing a lot. So I just took some fabric, the right shade that I wanted, and then applied some spray paint to add more dirt and grime, and just wrapped my hand. Now, this is a piece that I wanted to change for my Finn. Finn from Adventure Time, if you have done some reading, it stated that he has basically polar bear ears, or bear ears, and they're white, so we can assume that they're polar bear ears. Now, some of the other artwork on Pinterest as well shows him wearing a polar bear headpiece, and for that I'm like, yes, I do not want to go with the basic just white ears over the head. I wanted to take that up a notch, and so I made this polar bear headpiece, and I can wear it open like this, or I have some of that cord that matches the Lich King and the Entronomicon, and I can wear it open face like this, or I can tie it together so it's strapped a little bit better to my head. This one was fun and new to me to kind of play with shapes. So the way that I made it, I took some 3mm EVA foam, and I literally just cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shapes. So I did the muzzle was 3 pieces. It was kind of 2 to get the nose shape and the 1 here at the base. And then I did the front face piece and the 2 long pieces that would essentially make it a hat. And at first it was a little rough, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. Is it gonna look good? But then I went and picked up the fur and I started laying that on top of it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we did it. And then of course, actually, it was 8 pieces because I cut out 2 ear shapes on top. And I'm like, oh, this isn't just gonna be a snuggly, like, cute polar bear. Like, this is gonna be something that he fought in the wild. And so we've got a little bit of blood and stitching around this eye, some grime and blood. Oh, and I sculpted the teeth out of foam clay. So, and then I hot glued those to the front of the muzzle. The nose is also done out of foam clay. And it looked 10 times better, and I was just so much more confident after laying the hair on it. But then I also thought it was too long on the face, and so I just took out a pair of scissors, and on the muzzle and around some parts of the eyes and the face, I just went in and started cutting the hair shorter, and on the top of the head, went in, gave it a haircut, but I kept it longer around the back here just because I wanted longer fur there. But yeah, this is going to be a fun, noticeable piece to the entire piece to the cosplay. It's the thing that had the most work put into it. It's going to be the thing that most people look at and start to find the fun Easter eggs and different things on it. Some are definitely catered to Adventure Time fans. Like, you're going to look at it at certain things and say, oh, that's from that episode. This is from this episode. And they're very specific to some of them because I like those, episodes. And it's just a fun Easter egg packed. And the thing about this is in the coming years, I can keep adding little snips and bits to it, and it can just keep growing, essentially. And that's the fun part about it. Now, everyone knows that Finn is typically never seen without his green backpack. Now, I did not want to just make this little small bag that I'm going to be toting around. I wanted this to be more like a hiking pack that, he's collecting the different treasures, he's packing the different things from past adventures. This is like a big hiker's pack that has all the essentials with it. So we were not going small. As you can see, this thing is huge, and let's just kind of break it down. For the overall shape, this square here, or the box, I made it out of the purple insulation foam and essentially just glued that all together, covered it with fabric to match the two tones that are on Finn's pack, and then just took two straps of fabric and hot glued them on. Now, with the polar bear, I have the polar bear cowl, or the headpiece. I have the fur under my shoulder armor. I wanted to make this seem like I was using the whole animal and not wasting it. And so I have a polar bear cot that I took the excess fabric, rolled it up, used some of that cord to tie it together, and then attached it to the bottom of the pack. And we'll just kind of start on the face and then move to the sides. So right here we have the demon mask that he wears in the episode, where he and Jake have to go to the essentially hell and save Marceline. And this is what he uses to disguise himself. And it's funny because in the show, it seems like he's wearing a half-cut paper plate mask. So that was just a fun, easy one to grab the paper plate. It looks exactly as it does off the show. And the next thing is the glasses from the episode, where he puts on these glasses and somehow he gets super smart. He devises this whole plan to get Bubblegum to like him. And then he has, what else we got here? Unfortunately, I did this as kind of a laugh and gag as well. We have BMO. BMO is the third roommate that lives with Finn and Jake. They play video games on him, they watch movies. Unfortunately, our BMO has bit the dust. So I took, again, that purple insulation foam, colored it, made some indentions for the buttons, for BMO's face, the name, even the little sound speakers on the side. Now you can kind of see them. And then I took a bunch of extra wires that I had, and I had some automotive wire as well that I have clipped, hot glued into the sides where the arms and legs should be. And yeah, sadly we have a deceased BMO. Now on the side we have Finn's flute, where